Hey, Dr. Tassone here. Just kind of coming at you with an Essure removal. This lady was complaining of some pain on the right side, basically since the insertion of the device. And you can see this is the right fallopian tube here coming down, and you can see the Essure is coming out of the uterus right to the left of where the tube is. I don't know as though this ever even made it into the fallopian tube, but what I'm trying to point out here is this is the first time I've ever seen the actual outer coil and inner rod both perforating through the uterus. It's a little bit more prominent up here where I'm holding it, but this is kind of what it looked like when I went in with the camera. And this lady had already wanted a hysterectomy, so we were just planning on removing the uterus and fallopian tubes anyways. But you can see where, obviously, this looks like it would be somewhat painful to me. And she'd been told numerous times that the Essure wasn't the cause of her pelvic pain. Now, it's possible that maybe there were other things that were hurting as well, but I would think that this would cause some pain. If you let the uterus relax back down into the pelvis where it's supposed to be over here by the ovary, it would be fairly close to the femoral nerve and some other structures, and she did have some pain that would shoot down her right leg. Now you can see the left fallopian tube right here is pretty normal looking. There's nothing coming out of the tube. But if you zoom in a little bit, you can see right here, there's a little bit of the coil that you can see through the serosa. I don't know if that hurts or not. I see that fairly frequently, but yeah, it's definitely visible through the tube. But the point of this one being that this could obviously cause some pain for the patient. I think if we had these devices in men, and this was poking out through the testicle on the right side, that you go in and see the doctor and they would say, that probably needs to come out. Now this looks like to me that it probably wasn't a migration. This was probably a perforation at the time of insertion. Now that's obviously a guess because I wasn't there and I don't know, but you can see where it comes out is not near the tube. This could be part of the tubal tract right here, and maybe it just got pushed through there. But the actual coil itself is coming through the uterus, not the tube. It's not perforating the tube, which I have seen before. The tube's right here. It's coming through the uterus. So for me to just remove this, you'd have to cut around this device pretty widely to make sure you weren't cutting the coil. And that would be at risk for lots of bleeding and other potential risk factors that could cause all kinds of problems for the patient. Luckily, this lady was desiring to have her uterus actually removed, so we didn't have to, worry about fragmenting the coils here or having any other issues. This all came out as one piece. So you can see me holding it up in this one. Sorry, I got my computer here. You can see me holding the coil here. It's the same picture, tube's coming down there and the coil's coming out there, and I'm just kind of holding it. You can see where it comes in and out there. And this is what a normal tubal structure looks like. I'm holding the tube, it comes in and goes into the uterus, but you can see the coil right next to it kind of going through the appropriate slot inside the tube. So what I wanted to say was, let me turn on some lights here, is that what you see is that this device can indeed perforate, and it can migrate, and we know this. I mean, this is nothing new, and this is quoted by the manufacturer. Obviously, with any medical device, be it an Essure, an Explanon, an IUD, or even hips, knees, whatever you're using, because it's a foreign body, and in the case of this device, we know it causes a foreign body reaction. That's how it works, by causing an inflammatory response in the tube, and thus the tube scars over the coil and closes itself off. The only way to know where this would probably have been to do a hysterosalpingogram I did a preoperative x-ray which shows me the location of the coil with regards to the body. It shows me that it was in the pelvis, but it wouldn't show me where this coil actually was with regards to the tube. You'd have to actually do a hysterosalpingogram for that. So if you want to ask questions about removal, you can, or if you have questions about removal and you want to know things, insurance coverage, pricing, stuff like that, you can call Maddie at 512-956-0296. You can go to my website at tassonemd.com and go to the Essure consultation page. If you don't have insurance, you can set up an appointment online. For that, the hospital will work with those that don't have insurance to try and get some sort of a payment structure in place that makes it at least semi-affordable. It's not cheap, obviously, to not have the insurance. So one more time, we'll take a look at this coil, and you can see that it's perforating. I'm gonna turn the light off again. It's perforating through right there, the right side of the uterus. And the inner rod is also coming out, and I've never ever seen that before. I have seen the coil and this little soldered tip on the end, but I've never seen the actual inner rod also perforating. It almost looks like this is barely hanging on, like it's basically kind of dangling there, and it was. But this came out fine. Patient's doing good. Hopefully she's feeling a lot better without that irritation there, and she's on the road to recovery. So if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, have a great day. Have a great Halloween.